This is Briar Knowles with Chat with Dan, and today we're just talking about the top 10 on IMDb.
Welcome back, everyone, to another incredible episode of Chat with Dan. For today, we have on the show, what can I say? We have here, again, the incredible, the amazing, the badass, the superstar, the legendary Briar. Briar, how are you today?
I'm doing great. How are you, Dan?
Fantastic. And what better way to have an incredible, super badass Wednesday than to be chatting with someone as badass as you? You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's, how's the weather where you are?
It's crazy warm. I mean, the good thing is that it's raining on evenings, which is great now. So it makes the whole sleep time more bearable.
Mm-hmm.
But a couple of weeks ago, it was just crazy. But right now,
weather's crazy right now, right?
Yeah,
it's been super rainy here. We've had a really rainy summer.
Oh, I would love for a rainy summer or for a snowy summer. That would be amazing.
Yeah, but we've been getting like tornado warnings and.
You're kidding me? Really?
No. Yeah. We don't really get tornadoes very often, but we had a really bad one about a year ago, and it took down a ton of trees, and the power goes out, and it's like, oh. But summer's great. Besides that, it's been a fabulous summer. Yeah.
There you go. All right. So for this episode, we're gonna be basically chatting about films. You know, we're gonna watch the whole top 10, well, top 15, the top basically. We'll go from there. Now, for those who are watching, if you're new to the channel, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, follow, helps a lot. But also, in the description below, you're gonna find all of Briar's social media. Let's follow her. You can put pause here for a while. Go follow her. Let's make her viral. Team Briar.
At Briar.Knowles on Instagram and at BriarJKnowles on Twitter.
There you go. All right. Now, without further more, let's jump in here. So check this out. So we got here the top, right? At number 1, you ready? At number 1, we have the Shawshank Redemption.
Yeah.
Number 1. Do you agree on that one?
Do you know what? I mean, it's a really good movie.
Sure.
I mean, it's like top tier movie. Sure. Best movie of all time? I don't know if everyone would agree with that. I think it's a worthy competitor for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, for me, I don't really like to say one movie is the best movie of all time because
totally.
I mean, depending on how I'm feeling, how my life is going, changing, whatever, certain movies speak to me in different ways. But Shawshank Redemption is about as solid as you can get.
Yeah,
so,
that's true. That's true.
I'd say that's good. Yeah, for sure.
I mean, accordingly to IMDb, that's the number 1.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, I do agree on you on that. I mean, you can't put like one film to be the best of all time, because as you mentioned, everyone has different tastes depending on how you feel, where you're from too. You know, there's so many factors here that you can't just be like, you know what, no, this is the best film of all time, period. You know.
I mean, I would say I don't think there's a person out there, at least I couldn't imagine someone being like, oh, fucking hate the Shawshank Redemption.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
No, like I can't see anybody.
Yeah, no, that's impossible.
Anybody doing that. That would be kind of sacrilegious in a way to
and
movie lovers, you know.
Yeah, and what surprised me back then when I watched it is that it was actually inspired. It was actually by the book from Stephen King. You know, and he was the one who created it. So I was like, I remember when I saw that it was from Stephen King, I was like, you gotta be kidding me. That has to be a horror film. And then when I watched it, I was like, this is the most amazing film ever. You know what I mean? Like, really, yeah, it has everything on it. It was pretty cool. Yeah. So we will leave.
He's amazing.
Yeah. So we will leave that at 1 at the moment, right?
At the moment, yeah.
Gotcha.
For sure.
All right. So for number 2, we have The Godfather. What do you think about that one?
This is going to be controversial.
Absolutely.
I really liked The Godfather.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't blown away when I finally sat down to watch it, because it was a little bit before my time. Like, I was too young to really enjoy it when it was in its heyday and everybody was watching it, and part 2, and then we don't talk about part 3. But I had to take a break in the middle because I was like, oh, I think because I didn't connect to the main character for whatever reason. I didn't love him.
Yeah.
And I don't know, maybe it's just me, maybe my taste level's totally off. I think it's a fantastic I would say it is a perfect movie if you think of what a perfect movie is. But for me, I just didn't connect to it in the way I
Yeah.
wanted to because, man, I love crime movies. I love mafia movies. I think they're like probably one of my favorite kinds of movies to watch.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. It was for me, I came away from it not going, "Oh, it's the best thing I've ever seen."
Yeah.
But it was pretty damn good. It's like there's no fault in it at all.
Yeah, yeah. The same thing happened to me when the first time I watched it, I was super young and I didn't quite care or didn't quite understand, like what
Mhm.
they were like the message on and things like that. It took me years, like a lot of years later when I was older to rewatch it and be like, "Oh, okay."
Oh, yeah,
Now,
but you see, I never watched it when I was young.
mm,
I
no.
watched it when I was older. Yeah.
Okay. No, I did watch it when I
Yeah.
was my first films when I was a kid was The Godfather and Saving Private Ryan.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, you know.
That's,
Yeah. Yeah. Because
well,
because my father was always like watching films in his like in the living room. So I will sneak
yeah.
out and just watch them without him to know about. So that's why I ended up watching like those type of films. And yeah, they were pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I would definitely say that deserves a number 2. I think it really is I'm so contradictory because I do think it's a masterpiece. I think it's
Mhm.
an amazing movie and I think it's perfect, but it didn't formulate it's not my it doesn't move my heart
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah, I get it. I get
in
it.
the same way as other movies, right?
Totally.
So
Totally.
yeah, I definitely think that's number 2. In fact, I don't know, that and The Shawshank Redemption, I think could switch.
Mm.
Do you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Between 1
Mhm.
and 2. I
Absolutely.
think depending on the flavor of the moment and like how long are these movies even in the top spot? For how long do they stay there? Or are they constantly switching, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
W-
yeah. True.
So,
True, true. Yeah, okay. So at the
mhm,
moment we
mhm.
are agree with the whole one, Shawshank Redemption, two, The Godfather.
Yeah, sure.
Good. Okay.
I'm not mad at it.
Yeah, yeah. For number three, we have The Dark Knight.
Okay. It's a
You
very
know,
good movie.
true. That is also a really
It's a
good
very
one.
good movie.
Yeah, I think it's one of the best superhero films of all time, Bubs, by far.
I would say it is the best superhero movie of all
Right?
time.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. Yeah. Um I think if you gave me a choice, I'd watch The Dark Knight over The Godfather if I had to watch one of the two.
Yeah. Okay.
But but I would say The Godfather has more of an emotional reality. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, but The Dark Knight is really complex and very interesting, and I think it's because of Heath Ledger's fantastic performance. Um, mm, I think it's great. I don't know if I'd put it in the top 3, but I mean Christopher Nolan's amazing. I don't know. I'd have to see where the others lie. I wonder if there's a movie on there that I'm not looking at the list. You're looking at the list.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at you.
Well,
But
you'd be
I'd have to
surprised for
see what
that.
else is there.
All right.
But I knew it was in the top 10 because my brother loves Christopher Nolan and he's always talking about how all of his movies are always like generally in the top 10.
Yeah.
No, I think it's a really great movie.
So we
Does it
should.
knock out The Godfather or Shawshank Redemption though? I don't think
Yeah.
so,
Yeah. No, me neither. No. So
personally.
so then we will leave it on standby, right? Could be a solid three or not at all at the moment.
Yeah,
We leave it on
depends.
standby. Got it. Got it. At number four, and here's the thing: at number four is The Godfather Part Two.
Hmm. I preferred 2 to 1.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I think. I think if I'm remembering correctly. Or did I like 1 better than 2? No, I take that back. I preferred 1 bet to 2. So yeah, I think 4 makes sense.
Okay.
Uh in comparison to the top 3. Yeah, 4 makes sense. The jumping back and forth in time in that one is interesting. My God, I'm blanking on actor names right now.
Like,
Robert De Niro.
yeah, Robert De Niro.
That's it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I prefer him to Michael.
Oh yeah, Al Pacino.
Yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
prefer him to Pacino. In that movie. Yeah.
I think that film also is like more focused on family, you know, the whole like the whole betrayal that that Fredo does to Michael, basically that he set him up and things like that. And then we will have moments in the film in which we go back to see how Robert De Niro, which was later on the Godfather, like his
Mhm.
beginnings, you know, I was like that combination was good, but to me, you know what? I would have liked. I mean, the few scenes we have with Robert De Niro that were pretty cool, and I was at some
Yeah.
point wondering, like, what if? I mean, perhaps would have been like more cool if two been more focused on the whole beginning, like a prequel. You know, remember that
Yeah.
time? Remember, like a couple of years ago, we were in this era that we will see prequels everywhere. Everywhere there was a
Oh,
prequel.
yeah.
You know, so yeah.
Have you heard about the Hunger Games prequel that's coming out?
Oh yeah. I saw it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, you gotta be kidding me again. You know, like
Yeah,
either
I don't know. I
and
just feel
now,
like we need to leave things alone sometimes.
right? I mean, if a franchise was good, you know, it was glorious, leave it like that. We don't want a prequel. That's it.
Oh.
You know, I remember when, for example, when the Lord of the Rings came, it was amazing, and then when the Hobbit came, I
Oh
mean,
God, yeah.
I mean, it was good, but not as good as the Lord of the Rings. Like, you know what I mean?
Well,
Like,
I think there was some manipulation with that one with the studio. It's one of the
mhm.
reasons why Peter Jackson, I think he left, right?
After
At
it,
some point. He left the movies like in when he was filming
oh
them. He actually departed, I think, for a little bit and then was coaxed to come back because it was a mess.
yeah,
And the
and
movies
then
feel messy. Um
yeah.
no, I really like the Godfather part too, but I don't know, there was some for me, I found De Niro's performance. He's a much more animated actor
Mhm, mhm,
than Pacino, and for me, the contrast was it almost didn't feel like the same feeling when you were
mhm.
watching it, right?
Yeah.
And I know it's in the past and it's supposed to feel different, but it was almost too weirdly happier. Does that? I don't know. That's the sense I got when I was watching it, but it's a good movie.
Mhm, mhm. Yeah,
Oh man, people are
absolutely.
gonna hate me. But you know
Nah,
what? I don't really. I mean, I say it's a perfect movie, but I don't think it's as perfect as Godfather Part One.
yeah, no, yeah, that's
Yeah.
the thing here. I mean, yeah, the first ones always are the best. I mean, I have like a mixed feelings on sequels. You know, sometimes I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
just leave it with that one and we'll be fine
Yeah.
instead of you know going into this
Yeah.
crazy rant and having like like a two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine, 10. You know, and you're like, come on,
Yeah.
stop. You know what I mean? But
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
but yeah, okay, okay. Now
Cool. So let's leave it. Let's
I'll
leave
leave
it
it
where
like
it
that.
is.
So at the moment, we are not moving anything. Okay.
Nah,
Okay. Now for number five, we have 12 Angry Men.
I haven't seen this one.
I
I know
did,
it's an older movie.
yeah, it's from
I haven't seen it.
1957. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, I did
Yeah.
watch pieces of it, but not like the whole thing. I mean, it's a good one, but I'm not. I mean, with the small amount of the film that I saw, I couldn't say like, no, this would have to be. So yeah, let's just move forward here.
I
Um.
I think it's I think it is a movie that had a lot of impact.
Mhm. Mhm.
And it's definitely I say this from someone who hasn't seen it, but I know about it and I'm, I'm an actress, so I mean it's a play. So,
Yeah.
right. Um and I know the adaptation is amazing and it's one of those ones where I really should sit down like and watch, like The Manchurian Candidate. I should
Yeah.
probably sit down, right? Or is that the one I'm thinking of? No. Anyway, yeah, it had a lot of impact, and I think that's why it's there. And I think the acting is super, super solid.
Yeah, yeah. You know, one of the films that people are gonna kill me because I haven't watched is Casablanca.
See, that's a movie that's on my list. I know I should watch it,
Mm-hmm.
but there's
I've
like
never watched it.
20
Yeah.
movies being released every year, and sometimes you gotta pick.
Yeah, you know, one of the things that I started this week, check this out. So I started this week with this kind of new challenge, which is
Yeah.
watching a new film every day. Just one. Take it, you know,
Good grief.
take a time to just watch one every day, and I've been doing good. Yeah, I mean, I've
Yeah.
been able to make it happen, and I'm actually searching for new films to see like, okay, what's next? Because yeah, I mean, there's a lot of films out there, and I was the other day wondering like, what if I try to watch as many films as I can? You know, because to be
Mhm.
honest, I hate when sometimes, for example, if I'm interviewing an actor, and then they come out with this film that I haven't watched, and they start to be like, yeah, you know, in this film when this happened, this, and that, you remember? And I'll be like, yeah, sure, of course,
Well,
but
I
I
think
haven't,
it's
you know?
I think it's always the best policy. Just be like, I haven't seen it.
Yeah,
I don't know. Like, I could pretend and say I've seen it, but I haven't, and I want to in the future. But it's not like there's all these amazing directors who seems to see like every single movie, like
yeah, that's
Martin
crazy.
Scorsese and
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that. But
Mhm.
but I also know that they started movies when movies were starting. And I think it's easier to keep up with the times changing when you've been around for those times changing, right? And
Absolutely.
I think we play catch up as more modern people. We have to go back and make the time to watch all of these amazing films that have
Mm-hmm.
happened, and while also keeping up with the new stuff.
Yeah.
And it reminds me of, I had a professor in university when I was doing my drama stuff, and she said, "Oh, you want to be like me?" And I was like, "Yeah, I mean, you're amazing. You're an amazing woman." And she was like, she was super German and French, and like she awesome lady, really cool.
Yeah.
Um older woman, and she was like, "You read a play every day for the rest of your life, and you will never know as much as me." Because she's been reading a play every day
Yeah. So
since
you
she
were
was
never
like
gonna catch up.
15.
Yeah, of course.
I will never catch up to her wealth of knowledge.
Yeah. No.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
That's why she's teaching, and she has things to share with me. And we're always going to be playing catch up. So it's okay not to have seen the big movies,
Yeah. Yeah, maybe who
right?
knows? Maybe at some point if you want to become a teacher, if someone asks you, I want to be like you could say you're never gonna be like, you know?
Well, it wasn't quite in that vein. It was like you never stop learning, and you never stop
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
uh, uh increasing your wealth of knowledge throughout your
Totally.
entire life.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
I'm totally honest when I haven't seen something, like,
Yeah. But
but
you know,
yeah.
yeah, so what I'm trying to do here is to actually be able to do that, to watch a film and also to explore new genres and things like that, you know? So yeah, it's
Hmm.
been working. So we'll see. Right.
Yeah, awesome. Well, good for you. That's a
Yeah, thank
lot of
you.
time to put in.
I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, yeah. So yeah, so for 12 Angry Men at number 5, also on standby, right? Because since we haven't watched it, you know, and there's a couple
Yeah.
more, so we're
Yeah,
gonna
it's
leave it
not
on.
fair but I would say its impact on the industry, on
Absolutely.
the idea of good dialogue
Mm,
and interesting, the fact that it's in one room,
yeah,
that's cool.
yeah.
I think, and the acting is great.
Okay.
So I definitely think it deserves a top 10 spot. But I haven't seen it, so I don't know.
All right. So moving
Mhm.
forward here, at number 6 we have Schindler's List.
Yeah, I mean, that is a beautiful movie, heart-wrenching. It's an amazing movie, but I wouldn't say it's the best movie of that type,
Mm,
you know? I've seen other movies that deal with that subject matter, that have impacted me more,
okay.
right?
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
it is very solid, and
Yeah.
the art direction is amazing, the acting is amazing. Um, it may be, I've heard, I don't know a lot about Schindler, but I've heard it sanitizes him a bit,
Mm-hmm.
which I have a bit of a problem with. I like to see people in all of their complexity.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, but it's good. It's good.
Yeah.
But it for me, it didn't impact me as much as some other movies dealing with the same subject matter.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, and I get it. So yeah, I do. I do agree with that. Yeah, absolutely. It's a good one
But
for sure.
yeah.
But
Yeah. I also think it's a hero story, right? And I think maybe that's why it's on the top 10, because it's palatable. People get saved, even though there's horrible things in it, and obviously so much tragedy happens. There is someone who stands out up against, the oppressor,
yeah,
and helps save people, and that's a very powerful message. So yeah, that's why I
yeah.
think it's on it. It's
All right.
it's a very palatable movie
Mm-hmm.
for
So
the subject matter.
should we leave it on 6 or?
We'll leave it for now because I don't see anything else knocking it off yet.
Oh,
I think when we get to
you
number
better get
10,
ready.
we'll.
Yeah, you better get ready.
Oh, are there some coming up that you're like,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
okay, okay.
Mm-hmm. So for number 7, starting out number
Okay.
7, we have The Lord of the Rings: The Return of the King.
Oh no,
Right?
no, Two Towers, better movie.
That's the thing. That Two Towers is
Fellowship,
even
better movie. Sorry.
that Two Towers is even way down.
No, Return of the King.
I mean, it was a good one.
It was okay compared to the others. I
True.
think compared to other movies, yes, it was fabulous because the Lord of the Rings trilogy is fabulous,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not. Nah,
I
I
would
don't agree.
I would for example, I would put first Two Towers, absolutely.
Yeah.
Second one, that's a mixed one between The Fellowship and Return of the King. And yeah, and then for the third one, I will have it like this. Okay, like this mix between who will go, because I mean, I did enjoy The Fellowship, but I did enjoy also Return of the King. So yeah, between
I
two or
like The
three, that would be.
Fellowship better. Return of the King to me felt a little bit. The epilogues ruined that movie. They didn't ruin it, but it was like, is this the ending? Nope. Is this the ending?
No.
Nope. Is this the ending? No.
Yeah, that's true. Whenever they do that on a film, I'm like, when is gonna be the ending? Yeah, I get you. I
Yeah,
get it.
right.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I don't know. It had pacing issues for me, and
Mm-hmm.
that scene with Frodo and Sam when they're in the in the mountain, when he's ready to let go of the ring.
Mm-hmm.
That's an amazing scene. It's very
True.
emotional. It's wonderful, and I think it did wrap up the series well. But I still think Two Towers was the best.
You know, the other day I saw that the extended version from The Fellowship, Two
Oh.
Towers, and Return of the King,
Uh-huh.
it actually makes more sense. And I'm like, why they don't just release that the first time? Because it has like a lot of content, which actually makes the film even
Yeah.
better at some point.
Yeah, statistics, I guess. They look at it and say, well, how long's an audience going to sit here? And I was like, it's Lord of the Rings. We've already been here
We
for
know what it's
hours.
gonna be about. Yeah. We know the drill.
Please. No, I'm kind of saying the opposite. Oh, or maybe we are agreeing. But yeah, like we're coming to see a 3-hour movie. Like, give us our content.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they cut it.
Yeah, but it's I just don't think it's the strongest of the three.
Okay.
And weirdly, this one's breaking our rule, Dan. The
Mm-hmm.
sequel is better than the first one.
That's the thing that I'm telling you. I mean, there are some films I'm like, okay, so the sequel was good, and there are films in which I'm like, just leave it with the first one. And I mean, for example, one of the films, and perhaps people are gonna hate me from what I'm about to say, but for example, the whole John Wick franchise, so, like the fourth
Mm-hmm.
films,
Yeah.
I enjoyed the first one, and I was like, the first one was beautiful, was good, was perfect. Leave it like that. And then the second one,
Yeah.
I was like, okay, here we go. I mean, the second one was fun. I mean, it's. I mean, those films are like good action films. I get it, but at least to me, yeah, the first one hit me harder as the rest of them, because is a story about a guy who lost his wife, and then he has a dog, and then some bastards kill his dog and steal his
Yeah.
car, and then he goes on a rampage for vengeance. I'm like, okay, yes,
Oh
absolutely.
yeah.
And then the
Oh
rest
yeah.
of them, I'm like, okay, this is dragging like a little bit, I mean, it's a gun fu, like yeah, like a gun fu film. That's cool, but
Yeah, I agree with you. I love the John Wick movies.
yeah,
But the first one is the best. The other ones are just fun. They're
exactly,
good
exactly.
action fun, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, good old
Um,
action one
but
in which
but
you just
this
need to enjoy.
one, the first movie wasn't as good as the second movie.
True. The first one I
You
didn't.
see,
I
that's
didn't
what
quite.
I'm saying is it breaks
Mm-hmm.
our rule. Usually the first film in the trilogy or the quadrilogy or whatever is the
Yeah.
best one.
Yeah.
But in this case, Two Towers, I think, is the best Lord of
Mm-hmm.
the Rings trilogy movie, and
That's
it
true.
should not be below Return of the King,
That's true.
personally. So that one, I'd like to switch it out. If we have to have Lord of the Rings in there, let's put the Two Towers there.
So we will put the Two Towers on number 7.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Because the next one,
What?
it's Pulp Fiction.
Okay. How
Yeah.
do you feel about that?
I think it's fair.
I think it's a good movie.
Yeah, it's a good one. I mean, it's a good Quentin film.
Yeah.
To move
I
it
think
between, no.
you know what? It's not my favorite Tarantino film.
Mm-hmm.
It's not my favorite. I don't go back and watch it again and again. I prefer Reservoir Dogs,
Oh
and other
yeah.
ones.
Oh yeah.
Personally.
Mm-hmm.
And I know so many people love Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
And I think it is a really interesting crafting of a movie because of the nonlinear
Mm-hmm.
perspective. Um, and there's some really iconic moments in it, and I get why it's there, but it's not my favorite
If
Tarantino
we,
movie.
if we were talking, for example, on Quentin films on this list, instead
Mm-hmm.
of Pulp Fiction, I would have put Hateful Eight.
Okay, I haven't actually seen that one yet.
Oh, that's a brilliant film. It all
I would
happens in
really
a
like
house,
to. Yeah,
basically.
yeah.
Incredible film. Yeah. Or I can perhaps put Django Unchained.
I thought you were either going to say Django or one of the other ones.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, excuse me.
Yeah,
Wait,
I suddenly became a huge fan of westerns, and I don't know why, but I suddenly enjoy westerns now. So yeah,
because westerns are cool, man.
yeah, that's true. They're pretty cool.
Westerns are cool. There's nothing cooler than a gunslinger.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Wild West, man. Um,
Yeah.
I get why it's there. I don't know,
Okay. So we should leave it like
but
that.
I think, yeah, let's leave it because even though it's not my favorite, I
Mm.
know from a craft perspective, from a storytelling perspective, it's just super interesting. And I'm kind
Mm.
of pleased that there's a movie that isn't like kind of more cookie cutter when it comes to progression.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's so
Mm-hmm.
stylistic. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
we'll leave it.
Okay.
That's good.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah,
Now for number 9, we have The
yeah.
Lord of the Rings: The Fellowship of the Ring. What do
I
you think?
really don't think we should put more than one Lord
Okay.
of the Rings movie in the top 10.
Okay.
Although I love The Fellowship of the Ring. I'm very emotionally attached to it. It's probably the Lord of the Rings movie that I've seen the most.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I have this tendency to be like, I'm going to watch the whole trilogy. Then I watch The Fellowship of the Ring, and then all I want to do is watch the making of. And then I
Mm-hmm.
watch the making of, and then I just end up watching the making of, which is like
Mm-hmm.
really long. And by the end, I'm like,
Yeah. Yeah, I've
I
been
I
there
end up
too.
going like, oh, watch the other making ofs, and then I watch all three, and then your day is gone.
Mm-hmm. Or you fell
You never
asleep.
get to two. I never fall asleep. Oh my god, I love watching filmmaking documentaries. Oh, that's my jam.
I do, but the other day I was like super extremely tired, and then I got like when you were like sitting in the couch, and then you got suddenly you are in the most perfect comfortable position ever, that you know
Uh-huh.
perfectly that if you move a little bit, oh, it's gone. You need to stay there. You're like
Yeah,
on
you
the,
just out.
you know, and I fell asleep.
Beautiful.
So, yeah,
Were your dogs with you?
yeah.
Yeah, they
And
were
the
like,
prob
oh, perfect.
and the thing is that, for example, for the newest one, the Pitbull, he now understands that whenever he wants to wake me up, he will put his paw on my face, like trying to slap me. You know, whenever he wants to wake me up, either to to open the door so he can take a pee, or if he's hungry or he's bored and
That's
he wants to play,
excellent.
he will bring
Oh
his
man.
toy and with his paw start to smack to basically slap me on my head so I can wake up.
Oh,
You know.
that's sweet. Um, Fellowship of the Ring is very emotional. I think I have maybe rose-colored glasses with it, but I really love
Mm.
I love the bonds of the characters in it. I think that's really great.
Mm-hmm.
When I saw that movie, I don't know, have you read Lord of the Rings?
No, I haven't.
Okay. So, my dad
Mm-hmm.
encouraged me to read Lord of the Rings when I was like 12 or so, because that's when he read it. So I started the series and stuff, and in the Fellowship of the Ring, my favorite part is when they go meet Tom Bombadil
Mm-hmm.
and they cut it from the movie. And I was
Yep.
so mad. I was so mad. But now I understand after watching the making of, and now that I'm older, I understand that if they'd done that, the movie would have been like 5 hours long. And also, really, it doesn't add anything. It's just part of the adventure. It's a really
Mm-hmm.
interesting part of the adventure, but it doesn't
Yeah.
really impact too much on the rest of the story. So they cut it. Uh, so when I first saw The Fellowship of the Ring, my experience was colored by that negativity, where my
Okay.
favorite part of the movie wasn't in there. Same with when I saw Harry Potter and they changed the ending and they
Oh.
didn't give Hermione her point,
Mm-hmm.
her moment,
Mm-hmm.
which was my favorite moment in the book, and they didn't put it in. Guess because it's not interesting to watch someone do a logic puzzle or whatever.
Mm-mm.
Um, and yeah, I just don't think there should be two Lord of the Rings movies on the top 10.
There, there's actually three.
Oh, is the Two Towers number? Sorry, is the Two Towers number 10?
No, the Two Towers is on number 13.
Well, no, I mean top 10 though.
Top 10. No, on top 10
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
just the Two Towers and the
yeah.
no the Return of the King and the Fellowship. That's it.
It's sort of weird to put. It feels weird to me because to me they're all part of one story.
Mm.
So it's weird to have two
Mm-hmm.
in the top 10.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I get it. I get it. I mean, they should have. You could just put one and then give the
yeah.
space to another one. Yeah, I get it.
They sort of feel like one big movie. I sort of feel like the Lord of the Rings trilogy should just be like
One
number.
one huge film, a
Yeah,
9 hour
like it
film.
should just be the Lord of the Rings trilogy is number, I don't know, 6 or something. All
Yeah.
together, because they're the same story. They don't feel like two separate things because they're
Mm-hmm.
all the same adventure.
Mm-hmm.
Not like The Godfather Part 1 and Part 2 because they feel like totally isolated
Mm-hmm.
stories, right? I
Yeah.
think you could watch either of those movies without watching the previous one.
Yeah, actually, it's true. Yeah, the first one gives you like a little advance on what happened in the first one, so you totally get it. Like, okay, so this is about, and that's it. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, you might be missing some like emotional attachment to characters and some more insight into the characters, but you can watch them alone.
Totally.
Lord of the Rings, if you just watch the Two Towers and you don't watch the Fellowship, you can't
Yeah,
do it.
yeah, you just don't know what the
You'd be
hell's
like,
going on.
who the fuck is
Mm-hmm.
this?
True. True. Yeah, yeah,
Right?
that's true. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, you'd be like, who's Gandalf
yeah, yeah,
when he arrives at the end, right?
yeah. Who's Pippin? You know?
Yeah, right? Because you lose Gandalf in the first movie,
Yeah.
right? And he doesn't
Mm-hmm.
appear really in the second movie. Or maybe he does. He goes to Sar. No, that's after, right?
No, he no
And,
he does appear. He does appear on the second one when they are on the
oh no,
woods.
but at the end. Do you know what I
Oh, yeah,
mean? When he
yeah, mm-hmm.
appears and he's this magical figure and he comes to save everyone, it's really emotional
Yeah,
because
totally.
the characters think he's dead.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So can we just break the rules? Can
Yeah,
we
go
just break
first.
the rules down?
Yeah, let's go
Can,
for it.
can we
Yeah,
can we just put the Lord of the Rings trilogy in the same spot, like
yeah. Let's do
one?
it. Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it. Okay.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
think it's more fair. I think it's fair.
I think it's more fair.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well,
And maybe move it up a spot, right? Because where was the Two Towers,
the
or
Two
that we put in?
Towers. So the Return of the King was on number 7, and then the
Uh-huh.
Fellowship of the Ring it's a number 9, and
Yeah.
the Two Towers it's a number 13. So perhaps if we move all
Okay.
of it to number 7, that would make sense.
I think we should move it to number 6.
Oh,
Who was
okay.
number 6?
Schindler List.
Yeah. Yeah, better than
Okay.
Schindler's List for me.
Okay. I'll take it.
Yeah.
I'll take it. All right. So number 6. Now for the next one is Forrest Gump.
I'm very embarrassed to say that I haven't seen
You haven't watched
Gump.
Forrest Gump?
No.
Really?
Yeah, I know.
I mean, I get it. I mean,
I'm
as I
so
said,
ashamed.
I mean,
Oh my god.
I haven't watched Casablanca, so I get you. So
Well, but I haven't watched Casablanca.
okay,
Yeah, so
then we're on the same
deep
boat.
shame. Let me dig my hole.
But for example, for Forrest Gump, um, at least to me, it has like a very special moment, in my personal life. I remember watching
Mhm.
that film with my parents, and it was like one of those happy moments. So whenever I watch
Mhm.
that film, it takes me back to those moments. And it's funny
Mhm.
that everyone remembers that film from different, like everyone has their favorite scene, which is pretty cool. So you should definitely watch it.
Yeah, I know. I know. I think it's see, I wouldn't put it in my top 10 because I haven't
Hmm.
seen it.
Yeah, makes sense. Totally makes sense.
Um,
Totally makes sense. All right,
but
so
I
let's
get
move.
why it's there. Yeah.
So moving forward, then the next one it's Fight Club.
I love Fight Club. I love Fight Club.
I
I
think
really
that
do.
I think that film has one of the most badass plot twists of all time.
Oh yeah, and also the rewatchability of it.
Yeah.
I'm pretty picky when it comes to my movies. Maybe that's coming across.
Hmm.
I think it's maybe my critical lens um is a bit too active.
Yeah.
But Fight Club is one of those movies that I could watch. Like if you say to me, "Hey, let's watch Fight Club," I'd be like, "Yeah, let's watch Fight Club." If you said to me, let's watch Schindler's List," I'd be like,
Let's
"No."
watch the Lord of the Rings instead.
Yeah, right? Want to
Hmm.
watch Lord of the Rings? Okay. Sure.
Yeah.
Um Fight Club, yeah. I would say I think it's a good solid number 10.
Okay. Okay. So for the next one, we have Inception. What do you think about that one?
No.
No, you
No.
haven't watched it, or you
No, I've
don't?
seen it. I've
Okay.
seen it. Do I think it's one of the best movies ever made?
It was a good one, but yeah, the best one
Not
to be on
great.
top.
I mean, no, it was great, but it's not like,
The best.
yeah.
Totally. Oh
I
yeah.
wouldn't put it there. I think it's solid, but it was not the greatest. And oh gosh, I'm trying to remember their name. I felt um Elliot Page uh was miscast in that movie. At that point, Ellen Page,
Mm-hmm.
um they were known by Ellen Page,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't feel that they were the right person because they're very good at indie film, and
Mm-hmm.
they just didn't have the right feeling for me.
Yeah, like the right
Um
punch to it. I know, I get it.
yeah, I'm a big fan of Elliot Page. I think Elliot Page is great.
Mm.
She's Canadian. Sorry, he's Canadian, and I think he's really. I love Elliot Page, but I didn't like him in this movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, to be honest, I totally forgot about his performance now that you mentioned that.
See what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
But it's not that it was bad.
No, 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 but it was.
It's just a
Mm-hmm, no,
very, very different actor from Joseph Gordon-Levitt
oh yeah.
and Leonardo DiCaprio
Mm-hmm.
and everyone else in that movie. They're all very um intense kind of actors.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you remember their performance instantly.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm,
You
that's
remember
true.
it. And the only thing I really remember about Elliot Page in that, I just think a great actor, but not the kind of movie for them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Mm-hmm. I agree. So instead of that, we have okay, this is an animated one. So it's Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse.
Great movie, but I think it's there because of people's very strong feelings about Spider-Man and Marvel.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I don't know if it'll continue to be there. It is a great movie though.
Yeah.
I actually took my school kids to see it when I was a teaching assistant. We all went to see it together. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So yeah.
So for the next one, we have Star Wars Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back.
Okay.
Fair,
Yeah.
right? Fair.
I think that's fair. That is a very good. Do you know what though? That's a tough one. I think it's a good movie. It's a great movie,
Mm-hmm.
but I like the first one better.
But do you mean the first one from the old ones or the
Oh yeah,
prequels
the
or the
prequels.
recent ones?
Oh, not the prequels. I guess the middle one. What would you call that? Because
Okay, okay.
you got the prequels, the middles, and then the
So
future, right?
yeah. So the prequels was with, Ewan McGregor. The
Yeah. Yeah.
the old ones were with Mark Hamill.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And then the most
And
recent ones I forgot the name of.
Daisy.
There you go.
Daisy Ridley. Yeah.
There you go.
But yeah, I still love the original.
The Mark Hamill ones, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, true. Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah.
Empire Strikes Back is a great movie. But I felt like it got a little bit into the silly territory with the Ewoks.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't really like. I mean, I don't really like my Star Wars too much silly.
Mm.
I think that's why Jar Jar Binks sucks. He's too silly.
Yeah.
For me.
Yeah. One of the films that I did enjoy about the whole Star Wars franchise is Rogue One.
I liked Rogue One in terms of I think the premise was great. Honestly. Really do. I love that it was this explanation on how they got those plans for the Death Star, right?
Yeah.
I think it was great. Again, I think there was a bit of miscasting. I didn't love the main actresses. I just didn't feel like she was right for the
Yeah, what was her name?
fight.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, I mean,
And I think
yeah, that's true.
yeah,
I think I
oh
never saw
god.
her again in a film.
No, she does a lot of really great work. And she's an amazing actress. Why can't I remember her name?
I mean,
This is really bothering me.
Yeah, I don't remember that. I mean, I do
Can
remember
I look it up on my phone? Because this is bothering me, and I really respect her stuff. I think she's amazing. I felt like maybe it was the direction or something, but it was a bit reserved. And that's Felicity. I think it's Felicity something. It's coming to me. Felicity Jones. It is Felicity Jones.
She was she on? I mean, now that you're watching on her, she was also in. Yeah, not to mention. Yeah, she was in the Amazing Spider-Man 2, and she was also in in one of the Tom Hanks Da Vinci Code films. I think she was in one of them. Not sure. I think it was in the last one.
Oh yeah, no, she's great. She's done a lot of really
You
interesting stuff.
For me, for example, Rogue One was a really cool one because it was the first film. It was the first film that a Mexican was on it, so that was pretty cool.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, no, I think it was a really great. I really enjoyed the premise. Yeah. I'm just looking at Felicity Jones now. I'm all like interested. I'm like, oh, no, I don't want to open the app. Yeah, Rogue One, Theory of Everything.
Yeah.
Right. So she's great. But I found her performance a little reserved. Maybe that was the character, or her interpretation of the character, or the direction. I don't know. And I felt like it suffered from some scripting issues. I never felt entirely connected to the main character.
Yeah, the rest of the cast was good. God damn, I just forgot him.
Mads Mikkelsen was in that movie.
Yeah. There
I love him.
Yeah,
And I was like, why did you give him a bit part? Every movie needs more Mads Mikkelsen.
Mm-hmm.
Because I
Yeah.
love him. I think
Yeah,
he's great.
he's really
But
good.
yeah.
So we should leave then Star Wars Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back, like that.
I like the first one better.
Yeah, true. Yeah, true. It was different times, different. Yeah, it's true. Okay. I see where you're coming from. Okay, I'll take it. So for the next one, we have Goodfellas. What do you think about that one?
Goodfellas?
I mean, to me, it's a good mafia film.
Yeah.
But I will just be like, would I leave it there? Sure. Not like, yeah.
I don't know if I'd keep it in the top 20.
Okay.
Yeah. I know. Controversial. Not the
So
best mafia movie.
so instead of that, I have three options for you.
Okay.
Saving Private Ryan is the first one. Second option
Mm-hmm.
is The Green Mile. And the third option would be Life is Beautiful.
I haven't seen Life is Beautiful.
Oh, you should definitely watch that. That is an incredible. I mean, it's an oldie, but it's a great film. I loved it.
Is it really that old though?
It's
Isn't it
from
like 90s?
yeah, it's a 90s. It's
Yeah, but
from
that's to me to us that's not old.
okay. That's from
I guess
1997.
it's old now. It's like 20 years ago.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
so sad.
that film, it's yeah, it did. I mean, I did enjoy it a lot. So yeah, you should
Okay.
definitely put it on your list. It's a must watch for sure.
I would say Saving Private Ryan
Mm-hmm.
over.
The Green Mile.
You know what? I remember more about Saving Private Ryan.
Yeah, yeah, it makes sense.
I remember it more.
Mm-hmm.
Than The Green Mile. I saw both of these movies quite a long time ago. I haven't rewatched them recently.
Mm-hmm.
But when I go back into my memory, I remember liking them both a lot. Although I'm not really the biggest war movie person.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I just feel like the top, however, should have a real impact. And I feel like I don't know. I don't know, Dan. I'm not the right person to ask about war movies.
You know, I'll tell you
You do
what.
this for me.
I'll tell you what. I'll change you those three options for other films. How about that?
No. What do you think? Because you like both of them. What do you think?
I will be
Which one's
putting
better?
I will be putting Saving Private Ryan for sure. Instead of Goodfellas, I will be putting Saving Private Ryan for sure.
Yeah. And I think definitely
Yeah.
I'd replace it with Across the Spider-Verse.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah,
Okay,
I'll take that too.
The Spider-Verse is great, but it's kind of a candy movie.
Yeah.
I mean, great candy
I
movies
like
are great.
yeah, but it's
I love
true.
a candy movie.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I'm not gonna put like when I was growing up, Pirates of the Caribbean.
That was a jam.
Saw that movie like 4 times, 5 times in theaters. I loved it, but it
Yeah.
shouldn't be in the top 10
And it's not, by the way.
movies of all time, right?
Yeah.
Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
So
You know,
yeah.
now that I'm seeing like the rest of the other films, I mean, there are other films that should be on top. For example, Gladiator was a good one,
Oh yeah.
right? Back to the Future, come on,
How the hell is Inception above Gladiator?
right? I would yes. Or how is Gladiator like how is Spider-Verse like even
Above Gladiator.
yeah, that's impossible. Yeah.
Spoilers, it's not.
Yeah, no. Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So I guess what we realize is lists are dumb and they don't mean anything really. But at the same time, it is good to kind of consider what you like or dislike and why.
Yeah.
Um,
The Lion King, come on. If you're gonna put animated, I will choose The Lion King instead of
yeah,
Spider-Verse.
Lion King's great. Great, but personally, not the most impactful animated movie for
No,
me.
no, no, no.
I would say the two most impactful animated movies for me were The Last Unicorn and Fern Gully.
I never watched. Yeah, I haven't watched those.
Oh, you should totally watch Fern Gully.
I'm gonna put it on the list on films to
Awesome.
watch.
And The Last Unicorn, I don't know if you'll really enjoy it. I watched it again as an adult, and I was like, okay, so it's not that great, but it really impacted me when I was young. Um,
Yeah.
I think it's something about the songs and the feeling and the atmosphere. Really
Mm-hmm.
cool.
But for example, Back to the Future,
Mhm.
I will put it instead
Yeah.
of instead of. Mm, yeah, definitely. I mean, yeah, I will put Back to the Future even instead of Inception or Spider-Man or yeah, even Forrest Gump, which it hurts me a little bit, but yeah, I mean, Back to the Future is Back to the Future, you know what I mean? So,
Yeah. I think again, I think Forrest Gump goes above it because of the emotional context
mhm,
and
mhm,
Tom Hanks's amazing performance
yeah,
and all that. Um, but yeah, if we were to sit down, I mean, and had a choice between watching Back to the Future and Forrest Gump,
Back to the Future for sure.
right? It's a candy
Yeah.
movie, and we need
Mhm,
candy movies in our lives.
mhm, mhm, mhm. And now that I'm watching like the rest of the list, yeah, for example, mm, yeah, I mean the rest of them are. Let me tell you real quick. The rest of them are City of God, Life is Beautiful, The Green
Hey,
Mile.
City of God is a really cool movie. Have you seen that?
It was in 2002. I think I did. I see it? No, I didn't.
You
No, I
should watch
didn't.
that movie. That's a masterpiece of a film. It's really great.
2002.
It's
Oh, it's in.
awesome.
It's in re. Oh, I did. Yeah, I did watch pieces of it. Yes, not the whole film, but pieces of it. Now. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I watched it for class in university, and I was like, "This is a great movie." It
Yeah.
it's very impactful.
Yeah.
Um, but I don't know. It's weird. Top 10 lists, especially in IMDb, is really like a weird mix between what the Academy thinks is a
Totally.
great movie, and a candy movie, right?
Totally. Totally.
Whereas something like City of God is an amazing masterpiece of a movie, but I wouldn't
Yeah.
say it's entertaining to the masses. It's a popularity contest.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I guess it really is what you would define as the best movie and why, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Is
it's
it a
it's
popularity contest
or is it for yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
for art and like actual thought-provoking stuff?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, as we were saying in the beginning, you can't have a top 10 of best films of all time. You can't have that. No, you can't.
Mm-mm. Something I've been trying to do slowly over the years is Spike Lee teaches a class or taught a class, I think at NYU.
Mhm.
And it was like a filmmaking class, and he has a list of all the movies that you should watch if you really want to be a fantastic filmmaker, just for your education and your breadth of knowledge. And I've been slowly working through it,
Hmm.
and it's an amazing list. It's available on the internet. You can find it. It's like got 100 films on it, all running the gamut of everything you could ever want.
Yeah.
And that's something I suggest everyone have a look at and go. And if you really want to know movies from all angles, that's a great place to start for sure.
Hmm. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So to wrap it up,
Uh-huh.
what would be so we agree Shawshank to be a number one, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Godfather to be a number two. We agree on that one.
Yeah, sure.
The Dark Knight number three.
Okay.
The Godfather Part Two at number four.
Okay.
The whole Lord of the Rings trilogy at number five.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the only way to
Um.
do it.
Yeah, the only way to do it.
Yeah.
Pulp Fiction at number six.
Okay.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's fine.
Mm, Forrest Gump number seven. No, no, no,
Yeah.
wait. Back to the Future number seven. Yeah,
I don't know if I agree with you there, Dan.
you will put Forrest Gump instead.
I would put Forrest Gump above Back to the Future.
Okay, okay. So your number seven would be Forrest Gump, right?
Yeah, sure.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Number eight, Pulp Fiction.
Uh, didn't we already say Pulp Fiction?
No, we didn't.
No, okay.
Yeah.
I'm getting confused.
Mhm.
Yes, let's do that. I don't know, and I do want to have Back to the Future in there somewhere, so let's knock someone else out. But um,
At number
Pulp
9,
Fiction. Yeah.
we put Fight Club.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
At number 10, we put Star Wars Episode 1. You know, like the old
Uh-huh.
ones. You know, so
Yeah.
Episode 4 would be. I don't
Yeah,
know.
that's
Yeah, okay.
right.
So 4, right. Then the next one would be The Matrix.
Yeah.
Hmm? Then instead of Goodfellas, we put Saving Private Ryan.
Okay.
Hmm. And then we put Back to the Future.
Very cool.
And that's it. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, I wouldn't say I'm completely happy with it, but we've literally just like verbally done it like in
Yeah.
30 minutes. I feel like this is something we need to sit down and think about for like a few days.
Yeah, absolutely.
And edit over time,
And
but
then come back a few days
um
later, be like, you know what? No, 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 no. This is gonna be instead. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
right. Like I think for a first draft, it's a good place to start.
Yeah.
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 You did okay, you know?
We'll take it like there. We'll take it there.
Yeah.
Okay. Mm.
Right.
Right. Now my last question would be, if we could name, I mean, if we could make a film out of the episode we just did, how should we call it?
Oh God. We should give me time. I'm terrible at coming up with titles on the spot. Um, how about If We Must?
If we must,
Yeah. If we must make a list, let's do it. If we must.
leave it
If
if
we
we
have
must.
to.
Or if we must, or if we have to. If we must. I think
If
it's
we must.
right. It has like that.
Yeah,
I'll
right.
take it. I'll take it. All right. So we got a top
All
here.
right.
We got a top here, which is really cool. Let us know in the comments
Yeah.
what do you think about that one. If you agree or not. If you would put another film instead, let me know on the comments below. Also, as I said in the beginning, don't forget to just like follow right now, Briar, like right now. And
Yeah.
also, Briar, keep killing it, keep being this incredible, of amazing, of a badass, of a superstar, of a legendary person you always are. And
Thank you. Thanks
I'll
for
see you on
having
the
me.
next one. Always.
And I just want to, before we sign off, I know I'm wrong. I'm so wrong with this list. It's not. But you know what? It's what we got. We had to, and if we must.
There you go. And with that, we're dropping the mic here.